we stopped the narration of the Friday, August 17th, 1584 operation in Prague with saying that the voice said, "I most humbly beseech you that I may have access into the garden of comfort." And Uriel said, "You shall. I am contented." And this is all according to a true and faithful relation of what passed for many years between Dr. John Dee and Some Spirits, 1659, by Meric Casaubon. Edward Kelly said, "Now they three go toward the garden of comfort. They point one to another, and seem to talk one with another. They go in the path which leadeth from him," Uriel, "towards the park." And in the margin, D, the triangle means D, he meaneth of the first and the second which gathered flowers, and the third respice venom. Okay. So Uriel said, "These are wise men, for they shall escape the danger of the first and the second, and shall live as the third in comfort and pleasure. For behold, those which have entered, and now shall enter, have deserved their reward. But some there be that enter, and respect not the end, and such shall they be as he is, which defileth the flowers." Edward Kelly said, "Now here cometh a man from the park ward, and meeteth those three men, and giveth them three very rich garments. They put off their former garments, and put on those rich and beautiful garments." And in the margin, in the margin of what follows, we have 3 note casa fine qua non eo casa proxima eo propria ut deferunt hic, the flower of the flowers, the garden of wisdom, 3 manner of wise men, fury and revenge. Rudolph the Emperor must be made privy of all. Rudolphus Imperium, and something after in Dee's comment in the last voice. The last voice was Uriel. Apocalypse chapter 6 was what all this is going to make him think of. But Uriel said, "Other some there be, and go the middle way, because it is the next and straightest, and those be such as enter with their own ornaments, which are very poor and bare, and upon whose garments can hang no pleasure. Some there are that enter on from me, for without me none entereth into that gate, and because I am the light of him that lighteth by creation, therefore is there a way perfect, and beareth testimony for me, whereby they are thought worthy, and are apparelled for that place a pleasure, and so worthily enter. Lo, they enrich themselves, being made rich with beauty of so pleasant flowers, and they always drink of water, the water of wisdom, to their comfort and continuance. Blessed is he that so entereth, all worthy to enter, but only one hath the proper testimony," and so on. So you have this, and on the left you have a couple pathways showing 3 men going to Uriel from this hill, worthy to enter with testimony. A box, Uriel sitting on his throne. Again, the 3 men the Garden of Comfort, as I showed. That square, is that supposed to be like a ball on top of a well, or what's that? Well, they drink from the water, ways drink, and they always drink of the water of wisdom to their comfort and continuance. So that's what makes me think that's a well. But anyways, 1, he that defileth the flowers was worthy to enter into our garden, because he came not hither to my throne, and so took the way of descending from the hill to me, and brought into the garden of wisdom his worldly apparel, which, lo, is always as amidst between him and true wisdom, yet he thinketh himself satisfied. 2, whose coat is bare was also worthy, but because he thought himself worthy and visited not my feet, he took the middle way, where are no ornaments. Therefore he brought in his own nakedness, which is so threadbare that the flowers fall off it as from a marble stone, and the waters glideth of it as from the back of a falcon. Behold, I sit, happy are those that come unto me. Lo, you see, you may become wise with the 1, cloudy, wise with the 2, bare, and wise with those that are 3, advance, and dwell in true wisdom. The gate that thou shalt enter into is a fire of fury and of revenge, but be it unto thee as thy election is, even from the beginning, nakedly. Open unto venge, Rudolph. In the internal margin. Oh, wait, no. That's not the internal margin, that's continuing to say. Open unto Rudolph the manner of God's visitation. Shew unto him the holy vision, for I will make thee unto him an hand, an arm, yea, and half body. Yea, I will be merciful unto him, and seal him for myself, and he shall be thy comfort. I will put my fear into him, and he shall be afraid to sin, and he shall become a rod to those that are sinful. Happy are those whose works are a home, and whose faith deserveth the aid of my light. This is of God, and I am the finger. Happy are those that are directed by me, for in me is the true path and light of direction. And Edward Kelly said, he is gone. Let us remember that sinful means mistake-driven. Now, violating rights or what's right is a little bit different, right? Because some people won't consider those things to be mistakes. So, yeah. Dee said, as concerning the gate, lastly spoken of, where into I must enter, that it is a fire of fury and of revenge. O Lord, I am afraid, if that phrase be of any displeasure to me, for I have referred my election to the will of God, as was for his honor and glory to be granted. And I have long made petition to God for your help, and I desire nothing that should make the highest offended with me, but perhaps the service of God, wherein I am to serve him now, with his talent of wisdom to be imparted to me, consisteth in the execution of the justice of God with a furious and revenging fire, as under the altar they lie, and cry for, and so on. Uriel said, thou hast said. He said, all loud honor and praise be unto the Almighty, wise, and our most merciful God, now and forever. Amen. And Tuesday, the 21st of August, ante meridium horum circuiter 9, and the cross, Praga. Of course, the cross meaning that this is their holy place, as they call it. Precibus finitus eo invito. Uriel at nas eliminaret derogaret consuletur, etc. Edward slid Uriel's ear, and about his head, at a little distance, is a bright part of a circle, like a rainbow, and so on. And in the margins for this particular operation, earth, a reproof of our choice made, prepare, the promise becometh life, well, pleaseth, a new promise to Dee. Dee said, I must be placed here in Prague, not yet. Stewards, overseers, labors, the Lord, his visitation is not yet. Camber vide anno 1582, 15 Marti, March, D, forte intelligit Rolandum infantem meum que vitam restituit Dios Herculos quasi Cracovia anno 1584, July 14th, sed jus in nosts quod hoc mehe tam me cum videtur quam virum Maria pregnatum conferere, etc. Vide September 21st, Misericordiam Dei Premissum, IME, D, promise to Abraham, Seth, the third son of Adam, a promise made unto us, the choice misliked, the mercies of God upon us. D said, taupe, with a capital P. Oh, top page. Okay. A sure help to be promised. Do the Lord's commandment speedily. Note the signs. D said, I understand. Not this. Okay. So Uriel's here, and about his head a little distance, a bright part of a circle like a rainbow, and so on. D said, we propounded unto you yesterday, O you faithful messenger of the highest, as concerning this letter, how it is liked, when it is to be sent, and by whom, and so on. Uriel said, O earth, how great a monster art thou, and how great is thy wickedness, which makest dull men's capacity, and carriest him away into an obscure and rash sense. Not without a cause art thou hated with the highest, yea, not without a cause are thy garments made short. My brethren, how long will ye be grievous to the Lord, and how long, I say, will ye be without understanding? Oh, how long will you consider your own commodities, and neglect the harvest of the Lord? He said, I understand nothing of the occasion of these speeches. Uriel said, but behold, for you have chosen yourselves unto yourselves a visitation, and have broken the visitation of the Lord. For when you were commanded, you went not, and unto yourselves you choose days for advantage, while I say, take your choice and become wise, for I am ready to deliver. I say, prepare yourselves and be ready. But I fear me, yea, I know it, that you will become foggy and misty. Notwithstanding, thus payeth the Lord, since you will become wise. Chastise yourself for a few days and abstain, and you shall see that I am a God that can visit and mightily. I am not a man that my promises may not be, neither speak I of anything that liveth not, for I am light, and the breadth of understanding, because you have followed my commandments. Yet some of you obstinately, and rather as reprehenders than obedient servants, I will put a snaffle unto Satan and unto his ministers, and thou shalt sit in judgment against the wicked, for I will multiply them. I will multiply thee and thy household, and of thy feed, yea, even of thy, not feed, seed. Okay, some of this is broken and kind of, will I find her out a camber, and will root out a people which I have long favored, and for this cause spared I him unto thee, for unto him that loveth me will I be a just rewarder. The branches of the wicked do I cut off, and make worse than the donkey's dung, but unto the faithful will I send honor, and a crown of rejoicing. Who is he that I cannot reward him? Where dwelleth thou in heaven or in earth, that art and rejoiceth not by me, that thou followeth my commandments? And I once begin to love thee, I have told thee that I will place thee here. Dee said, in this city? Uriel said, not as a citizen, but as an owner of many houses. But take heed, thou be just to me, and do what I command thee. Dee said, Lord, thou knowest my heart. Help and supply my wants. Uriel said, behold, the corn, kernels of grain, it's not specific there, is not ripe, neither are the grapes red, nor the sun hath not yet seasoned them. Therefore, yet need I not stewards, but overseers, and as yet laborers are unto me as shadows, because not yet, no, not yet, is the time of my visitation. Therefore, he that bringeth his sickle now must not reap for me, but must rejoice in himself. Happy is he that tarrieth. The Lord, lest afterward the doors be shut, and the feast at an end. All wisdom and sciences comprehended in wisdom that worketh for himself is of the world, but the wisdom that I give openly and without reproach, that I also, rejoicing in the wisdom, may be glorified, and exalted with a diadem of honor. When Sodom cried for vengeance, had I it not ready? Could not I from heaven have consumed them with the breath of my own mouth? I myself know it, and am witness. But lo, in the pride of their filthiness, I had regard to time, and that it might be known to all nations, licensed my angels, and gave them power, and lo, then made a promise unto all nations, that they should be blessed in Abraham, even the same moneth that I destroyed the Sodomites. These things did I, as unto Noah, and unto Seth, whom I loved. I made them privy of time to come, and opened unto them my judgments, because the world should be justly condemned. After the same manner made I a promise unto you. Lo, after the same manner have I called you to counsel, but you have chosen the lowest, and have refused the highest places, and have regarded your own comforts, and not my visitation, I commanded thee not to go into the woods, and to fetter wolves, neither to saw the tiger's teeth. I delivered you not unto the wicked, neither suffered I them to rejoice over you, but I have brought you from death, and from the days of lamentation, and have dealt with you as faithful brethren do in their divisions, not that I forgot myself, but that I would be magnified, and that you might see your wickedness and naked rashness. Many are there upon the earth which would have burst with gladness, and have rent their garments in pieces, if I had touched them with the least in these counsels, for I call them because they are my secrets. Is it not sufficient that I have brought you hither also safe? Okay, that looks more like two F's, but hither safe. Have promised you a sure help. Lo, you rasped me. For what is he of the world to whom I shall confirm letters? He said, this is spoken in respect of God, his judgment required of the letter. Uriel continued, they grieve me because they are the doings of man. O man, let answer unto thee, and let it suffice thee, that the mark whereat thou shootest is in my hand. My work is not a work of hours nor days, but when I command, do speedily. When the thunders fall from heaven and burn up the earth, scale her face and leave her naked. Then will you believe. Behold, he that is a man, being newborn, is accounted a monster. Is it not written, lo, the Lord looked from heaven in his visitation in the midday, and groaned upon her, for she had vexed him. Happy is he that is ready when he visiteth. That which I command, let it be done. For when the kings of the earth say, do this, they play not also the parts of their servants and subjects, but lo, it is done. Suffer, I pray you, to have that favor. And he said, Deo nostro misericorde peo eo justo, sit omnes honor laus et gloria. Amen. Stomach's still getting problems. Tuesday, August 21st, and the cross saying that Praga is their holy place. After dinner, as we, Edward Kelly and Dee, were in my study and conferring of my choice, and very sorry that we had made our choice not of the best, Edward Kelly saw Uriel on the stone, which yet stood unput up, and said he had seen him there ever since we began. So coming to the stone, he said as followeth. And Uriel said, murmur not amongst yourselves, but rejoice and be glad, and sound into the greatness of God's mercies, which beareth all your weakness, and leadeth you through the foggy and perilous midsts of your daily temptations, even by the hand, and now not only giveth, but also exhorteth. I speak with you as a man, yea, let me speak with you as a man. You are oppressed with sin, and with the world, and are not yet apt for the visitation of God. My brethren, God hath dealt mercifully with you, hath opened unto you these three ways, desirous. He said, in malevolum animam non intro ebit sapientia nec habet in corpore subdito peccatis. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, and at the margin we have note our unaptness yet to be visited. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Edward Kelly said, he speaketh another language I understand not. Well, relate us the sounds. Maybe we can figure it out, So the entity calling itself Uriel said that one of you might have entered into the highest gate. And why? Because the workman might be able and correspondent to the work and time of the Lord to come. God hath done many great things for you, but you will not see them. Tarry away a while till I come back again. And, so perhaps there was another Enochian phrase that's sort of the counterpart to the zaz, zaz, na, sa, tanada, zaz, as. Is that how it goes? The workman and the work must be correspondent in the internal margin. Also to D was said in fact, supra to Edward Kelly, in vita to Albert Lasky, to vive. Edward Kelly said, he is gone beyond a thing like a hill. And D said, after a quarter of an hour he came again. Edward Kelly said, he hath a pair of tables in his hand made as of white bone, and therein are many names written orderly one under another. Edward Kelly said, if I thought this to be of God and this to be Uriel indeed, it were another matter, but there too much familiarity maketh me doubt. D said, the old saying is true in you, nemia familiaritas parat contemptum. Uriel said, believe me, by heavens and earth, I am true, Uriel. Edward Kelly said, he hath another book holden unto him by one standing by him who is like a shadow. Uriel said, give ear. Far and choose. Maybe that's blurred enough to have a fast and choose. For after this time there is no choice. And D, thy age and continuance in this world, in flesh, according to the finger and second proportion, which you call nature, is 73 years and a half. And here it is, D pointing to the other book. And in the margin, a new choice by God, his great mercy granted 73 and a half, D his age. Edward Kelly said, he that is like a shadow openeth the book, it seeming to be of yarn or steel, yarn, in which book appeareth diverse names as Bamasan, Corsax, Tohomaphala, and so on. Bamasan, Corsax, Tohomaphala, and so on. He said, they seem to be the names of good angels, proper to particular men. Uriel said, thou, Edward Kelly, dost more than thou art commanded, yet cease a while. He said, because he, Edward Kelly, read these names. Well, perhaps he jumped to interpretation. It would have been best to wait, you say, before vocalizing that. Because sometimes it seems like that something's the case, but if there's revelation and inspiration in regards to a tradition, I'm not saying that God's sanctioning one thing or the other or something, but in the margin to this next series, Angelus Bonus, Edward Kelly. Okay. Angelorum Bonorum. I have a little series written of my experience with that, and which includes explaining of that. But Edward Kelly said, he spreadeth a thing like a cloud before him. Edward Kelly said, now he appeareth again, and the other with him. Edward Kelly said, Samna appeareth in the book, and against it 46. Uriel said, So much shalt thou, Edward Kelly, live by nature and die violently. Edward Kelly said, now he is covered again. Edward Kelly said, now he is here again. Edward Kelly said, Afalaf ben standeth, written in that book, and 73 with a prick over the upper part of the figure 3. Edward Kelly said the book is very big and full of names and numbers against them, and the leaves are very thin. Edward Kelly said, now Uriel openeth his book himself, and there appeareth against Aflafbeen 122, and against Sudsamna appeareth 87. Aflafben, my good angel. Sudsamna, Edward Kelly, his good angel. Vita Nature Gratia. But we don't have enough time to say what it says. Uriel says here.